Hey guys, Nerdspam27 here, bringing you my review on Fairy Tail Chapter 449, Mavis and Zeref. Yeah, sorry guys, no live reaction today because the chapter didn't really have anything that was reaction worthy, so just the review. The first couple of pages actually kind of summarize the events of Fairy Tail Zero. So technically you don't really have to read Fairy Tail Zero, but if you want to go more into detail on Mavis's past and how she met the other founding members of Fairy Tail, then you'd probably have to read that in order to get the full story. Sometime passed after Fairy Tail was formed, and there was a war going on about trading rights. And this was the second trade war that began, and even mages were involved, including Fairy Tail, as we get to see Mavis using her tactician skills to come up with plans for her side to win. However, during that time, Mavis really didn't like this war because she didn't like the fact that many people had lost their lives for this war. She wanted this war to end, which it did 4 years after Fairy Tail was formed in the year X690, and there was even a treaty to maintain the peace between other guilds called an Interguild Dispute Interdiction Treaty. Jump to 6 years later in the year X696, Mavis reunites with Zeref, and even though Zeref did warn her about the curse, she was still able to go up to him and give him a hug. So this is actually something that's been bugging me. How does this Ankhseram curse work exactly? I mean, I know it works as long as you truly value how precious human life is, and the more you value that, the more effective the curse is, and the more lives will be lost whenever you get close to them, but is there like a trigger for that? Is there like a certain time delay for that curse to activate or something? I'm not exactly sure. During their reunion, Mavis now knows Zeref's true identity, the Black Mage. Even though she did hear rumors about him, she believed that he was actually a good person. Eventually, she told Zeref about using law to save Yuri, but it turns out there was more to the side effect because according to Zeref, Mavis is now immortal, just like him. So she too is also cursed by Ankhseram. Okay, that's actually definitely interesting to know, but I just assumed that Mavis is gonna stop growing and looking older. She will get older, but, you know, still look the same. I mean, I didn't think that she was immortal, but yeah, apparently she is, just like Zeref. And the whole reason why she hasn't lost anyone precious to her was because of the war that was going on that kept her attitude in flux about human life. Zeref then tells her that when the day comes, she will finally understand the true preciousness of life, and when that time comes, everyone around her, everyone that she cares about, will be gone, will disappear. Mavis doesn't take the news very well, and she runs away crying. She knows how valuable human life is, and yet no one has died so far, so I guess she hasn't discovered the true meaning of how precious human life is. At least not yet. And then the chapter ends with someone saying, Yuri, it's a boy, so Yuri's wife have given birth to Makarov. So yeah, that's basically it from this chapter. Overall, this was an alright chapter. It was definitely interesting. Although the part about the second trade war, I didn't care as much as I wanted to. I mean, it was interesting to know about more of the world of Fairy Tail, but I was actually more interested in what was going on between Mavis and Zeref. I wanted to know more about her sin, the one magic that they both sought, and what led to her activating Luministoire, aka Fairy Heart. But this does bring some speculation over what might have happened. I'm assuming one day she will understand the true meaning of how precious life really is, and when that time comes, then she too might unintentionally kill someone. Maybe Yuri, because I know that he will have a couple years left until he dies, so maybe she might unintentionally kill him, and she's so distraught over this that she uses the ultimate magic Fairy Heart to seal her body so that she can protect everyone she cares about. That's probably why she was sealed in that crystal, so that she wouldn't hurt anyone ever again. But there was this thing that Zeref said, so you really did have potential, the potential to walk alongside me. That is interesting because since we now learned that Mavis is immortal like Zeref, then Zeref has someone that he can be with. But we don't really know the full extent of Mavis's immortality. I mean, can she really never die? I mean, she can't age and she can't grow. but does that mean that she can still get hurt? That she can still technically die, but, come back like how an immortal usually is? I mean, Zeref, we know that he couldn't die. I mean, he probably couldn't kill himself and tried many times but failed. So it might be the same thing for Mavis. Now, why is Zeref after Mavis? Well, it's probably because of what he said before, since Mavis is now able to walk alongside him. So maybe he wants Mavis on his side. I guess someone that he knows that he can be with or something. Maybe that's why he's after Mavis. That, or he wants to use Mavis to eradicate the human race. I'm not exactly sure, but I believe that my theory about Mavis being sealed in that crystal, the reason why, might actually be true, but we won't know until the next chapter or the chapter after that. So overall, this was an informative chapter. Some parts I was not as interested as I wanted to, but there were some more parts on the second half that I really was interested in, and I am looking forward to learning more information about Mavis and what led to her using Fairy Heart. And who knows, maybe we might know why Zeref is after Mavis. So next week's chapter is called Alone in All the World. So judging from the title of that chapter, that means that Mavis might really understand the true preciousness of life, and she might accidentally kill people. I'm assuming it's going to be Yuri. So, tell me guys, what did you think of this week's chapter of Fairy Tail? Did you like it? Did you hate it? What do you think of Mavis being immortal like Zeref? And do you think that she might kill Yuri or other people once she learns how truly precious human life is? And do you think this might be the reason as to why she was sealed in that crystal using Fairy Heart? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to like the video if you like it and subscribe to my videos, and be sure to check out my Facebook fan page and Google+. Oh yeah, and another thing. I know many of you guys are gonna probably ship Mavis and Zeref together because there was a moment where they're like close to each other. Well, their faces at least, but that was just him sensing Mavis's magic or something. I'm not exactly sure, but me, knock yourself out. I'm not really the kind of person that cares about pairings in Fairy Tail at this point. So yeah, that is Fairy Tail chapter 449. I'm Lunar Spawn 27, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.